What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching another video. Just an update really quick on the Audi S3 before we get into the main topic of today's video. The Audi is going to be getting two really big upgrades that it needs drastically. Number one, finally, I'm going to be installing the APR intercooler that I've had for this car for months now. So that's going to be going in this weekend, and the car is going to be getting a 034 Motorsports rear sway bar. So look for those videos coming sometime next week. The main topic of today's video, guys, is my suspension. As you guys know, probably if you watch one of my videos that I ruined my Audi S3 about a month ago, I talk about how bad of an experience I had with my adjustable springs on this car, where I didn't even want to drive the car. It rode horrible, it performed horrible, and now I'm running the 034 Motorsports Dynamic Plus lowering springs, and the car has been fantastic ever since I switched over. Now, my car has mag ride, as you guys know, which is the adjustable suspension paired with the lowering springs. It's been nothing but amazing. The car drives well, it's comfortable, it's lower, so it looks a lot better. These springs have been nothing short of fantastic, and I highly recommend it to anybody that's looking for a spring setup for their mag ride cars. And so you guys know this also goes for the A3 and the RS3, and obviously I have an S3. If you're an S3 owner, if you have mag ride, these springs work really well. They have an option for every single trim of this car, if you want to go down that route. So basically, I wanted to just do a full review on the springs, how they feel, my experience so far overall, why I like them so much, and why you should buy them. So we're going to be going out on a drive with the car today just to see how the car performs on camera, on video. But before we do that, like I said, guys, this has been nothing short of amazing. These springs are awesome. I wish I had done them from the beginning, because really my experience that I had before these springs was awful. And honestly, it's a shame that I had to go through that. And I'm still going back and forth with the company to see what's going to be done, because I still have not had a resolution over a month ago since I contacted them on my situation. So I'll keep you guys in the loop on that as time goes on. But again, I know this will be resolved hopefully soon, and we'll get what we need to from the company, and we'll come to a resolution, and everything should be good. So running the 034 springs, the number one thing about what I wanted in a suspension setup in a car was comfort. I wanted to be comfortable while driving. I wanted a ride as close to stock as possible. And when I went with my other spring setup, I didn't get that whatsoever. For the first week or two, everything was good. The car rode great, but as the spring settled in, it was awful. The 034 springs feel honestly identical, or as close to identical as stock as possible, with having a lower ride height, which is exactly what I wanted. My plan was never to slam the car. My plan was never to have a vehicle, or have this vehicle be just useless, slamming it to the ground, bagging it, riding super low. I didn't want that. I just wanted the car to lose its wheel gap as well as be a comfortable car, and these springs have achieved both things for me. So like I stated before in the video, I've had these springs on for more than 1,000 miles now. I've driven the car a ton since I put them on. It's been more than a month, and as time has gone on, the springs have gotten better and better, which is, in my opinion, is crazy, because typically as things settle out, you really get a feel for how the suspension is. Maybe it might be a little worse, maybe it might be a little stiffer, a little more bouncy, but the car has gotten more comfortable as time has gone on, which has been amazing for me, because that's what I wanted. I wanted a comfortable car where I could put whoever in, my family, girlfriend, friends, my pets, anything that I needed this car for, to feel like a really good daily driver, but have the performance of a lowering spring, is exactly what this combination of my current setup is giving me. The mag ride, honestly, a lot of people hate on it, a lot of people don't like it, and to be honest, what I enjoy about it is when I'm in comfort mode, as I am right now, the car feels good, it's tamed, it's not bouncy at all, it's very floaty, it feels really good. But let's say I want to go into dynamic, which I'm in right now, everything is stiffened up now, and everything is nice and tight. When you go over bumps, it's not crashy. The big issue that I had on my last suspension setup is any mild bump that I would go over, it would literally feel like the strut was going to completely come out of the tower. It sounded like an explosion, and that was super scary. When I had people in the car with me, it was kind of embarrassing to have to explain to them that that was my setup, that's basically just how the car rode. And people that are not into cars, that don't understand, will not get what you're trying to tell them when this is occurring. So it's pretty hard to explain to people that you're driving this nice Audi. It's a luxury and performance oriented vehicle, and trying to explain to them why it's making all these weird noises, why it's so uncomfortable to drive, why they're bouncing around everywhere. And that's what I like hated about the old setup. It just didn't work for what I needed. But if I went back and I went to go do it again, I would definitely pick these springs, because again, this is like the best OEM plus kind of ride you could get. It drops the car. They state 3/4 of an inch, but measuring it out from where it was on the stock suspension, which I have on my notes, I'd have to look back to get the exact number, and to where the car's sitting right now, it's closer to like an inch drop, right around that area, which on the S3 is perfect, because right around an inch to an inch and a quarter, you're basically eliminating all sorts of wheel gap, where the fender sits right at the top of where the tire is. And for me, it's really good because I don't have to worry about rubbing, and I could fit a thicker tire and that not have to worry about rubbing on that setup, because basically the suspension is so planted and so perfect for the setup that the car comes with on the mag ride. You don't have to worry about anything really going wrong, which is for me really important, because if I do want to take drag racing more seriously, and hopefully sooner rather than later, I go with a hybrid setup on this car, which the car could be making mid 500 wheel horsepower and mid 400 wheel torque, and the car's going to be doing, you know, mid to low tens possibly. I'm going to have to get a really good meaty tire on here, and with a really crappy suspension setup, I'm going to be rubbing. It's not going to work out. But on these springs, I know for a fact that if I were to fit a bigger tire, I won't have to worry about rubbing. Everything is going to be nice and planted. Everything is going to be really good, and everything's going to be stable. And that's exactly what I want. And that's what this suspension setup has really given me. So I have nothing but good things, obviously, to say about 034. They're a huge company. They make so many different aftermarket parts. So it's sometimes better just to go with a really big and reputable company for a certain kind of car, like 034 when it comes to Volkswagen, Audi, for example. Again, I don't want to bash any companies, because Ground Control really did help me. They did answer a lot of my questions, but at the end of the day, what they told me that would work on this car, it really didn't, and it is what it is. Again, things are going to get resolved from that situation, but my main takeaway is I should have just listened to the people that told me to go for this kind of spring setup over what I did. It ended up possibly costing me money in the end, and again, I have nothing but positive things to say about 034. So going forward, I'm going to be using a lot of 034 Motorsports parts as much as I can. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this weekend I'm going to be installing their rear sway bar. I really loved the way this car handled on back roads, and the number one, or arguably the number one suspension mod you can do for your car is a rear sway bar. It'll like basically eliminate a lot of the body roll and just plant the car into the corners like crazy. So what my plan is gonna be pairing obviously that sway bar with my suspension setup now and seeing how the car performs. I'll take it back to the roads that I did on my previous videos and see how it compares to just having the springs in the car. But from what everybody says, I'm very confident that the car is going to perform the way it's supposed to. It's going to feel super good in the back twisty roads, and that's what I'm super excited on. I'm probably never going to autocross this car, but I do like to drive the car hard when I do, and I would not mind taking an hour trip, for example, to some really nice twisty back roads when the car is set up so well. And that's my plan. I want to take the car back after I do the sway bar this weekend. Everybody has nothing but good things to say about the 034 Motorsport sway bar, so I'm super excited. That video will be coming sometime next week. And guys, just so you check out the car too, like, the fitment is pretty good. The car is decently low. Don't have to really worry about rubbing on anything, like I said. It's the exact wheel gap setup that I'm looking for, and in my opinion, the car looks amazing. So, I don't know. I'm really digging this kind of setup right now, guys, and the springs ride amazing. So, this whole setup right now is perfect for me. I love the way the car just sits. Like, it's exactly what I wanted in my suspension setup from the other one, and the car is literally sitting the exact same as it did before, but now with something comfortable. So honestly, guys, I love the way this looks. Hopefully you guys like it too. And to basically finish off this video, guys, I came to a super bumpy road. I want you guys to see how the suspension basically is. It's going to be very bumpy. It's an awful road in my area, and just to basically prove how much better this setup is than, I mean, this whole, yeah, this is a mess. When it came to my old suspension setup, what happened was, anytime I would hit some kind of bump, and even in my video, you can hear it. It sounds like a massive, like, you think something's breaking. Let me turn around here and go the other way, where all the potholes on the other side and everything is. I don't want to mess up my car, which I doubt I will, but again, for the video, I just want to further prove the point that if you have a MagRide car, probably this will be your best suspension setup for both lowering the car and comfortability, because here we go. Yep, there it is. There it is. Yep. Literally got to go all over the road. But honestly, guys, the car's planted. There's no huge like explosion sounds from the strut towers. It's awful. And again, guys, I'm super happy. Like, honestly, shout out to 034, because they're a fantastic company. Hopefully, maybe a company that I could work with one day, because I don't know, companies like this that really put the time and effort into like perfecting a product like they have with these springs, it's something you got to appreciate, because I know they work hard. I know they develop so many different amazing parts, but the perfection that these springs are for the MagRide setup, I can't even explain it. Like, the fact that the car looks good and rides good blows my mind. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. A lot of mods are coming for this car very soon. Like I said, we will be installing my APR intercooler this weekend. My 034 Motorsports rear sway bar is going to be going on this weekend, and I'm actually going to be changing up my exhaust setup. So the S3 is going to be sounding a little different. It is going to be louder. It's going to be hopefully tamed, but not over, I don't know, it's not going to be too quiet, but it's not going to be overbearingly loud. Like, the car right now has a really good tone to it, but I've gotten used to it. I want it to be a little louder, so we're going to be changing out a couple of components in the exhaust setup that I have now. Hopefully that part will reach me by tomorrow, because I'm going to be installing everything on Saturday, and I'm going to be making separate videos on Saturday on every different part that I do. If it doesn't, that's okay. I can do it next weekend. But I think what I ordered is built to order, and I ordered it last week. Again, not sure. But so we're doing intercooler, rear sway bar, and different exhaust setups coming up for this car soon. But hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Like I said, this is the setup you want to do if you have MagRide in your A3, S3, or RS3. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.